101.7 Lights FM.
We're laughing already because here in the Cayman Islands interview lounge because comedian Bill Burr has stopped by this morning. Bill, thanks for coming to the Cayman Kind Studio.
Oh, thank you for having me in the Cayman Island
Yes.
Memorial Studios.
That's what it is.
Something like
And
that.
we're glad to have you. You got a busy week. We're just looking at your schedule. You're going to be on Fallon and Conan, right, this
Yep.
week?
I'm Media Boy this week. I got a new animated show, or a cartoon as I still call it, coming out on Netflix called F is for Family. 6 episodes. It's about this family, the Murphy family. It takes place in 1973. And it's the 70s as far as how Mike Price, one of the co-creators of the show, how we remember it.
And your voice of the dad.
I'm the voice of the
Yeah.
dad, who's an amalgam of my dad, Mike's dad, and everybody else in the writer's room. It's basically, we set it back where in that time where you could, kids today, they wear helmets when they ride bicycles,
Mm-hmm.
they have play dates and all that, and back then it was, they just sent you outside. Like, get out of here.
It was
Just go
great.
outside. Yeah, you could literally bring a gun to the airport back then. If you had
You
your
literally
briefcase,
could.
as long as you didn't wave it around, it was
Funny.
fine. It was just like a different time, and I just throughout my career I've been telling like family stories on stage, and they always did well. And then somewhere about 8 years ago, as that play date generation came of age,
Yeah.
it started getting like not groans, like started going like that. Even though that they had dads like my dad,
Right.
like that dad still exists and mom still exists, but now it's like socially this whole that's bullying. Oh, that's traumatic for the kid, and it just became like this overly thinking things. And so I just got frustrated, and I stopped telling the stories, but I knew they were still funny. And one day I was walking my dog. I was like, what if I just animated them? And I just was going to do these little 5-minute vignettes on my website, like, Burr family goes to get a Christmas tree, and then all the dysfunction. Of course, being a comedian, I procrastinated, and I never did it. So then one day I had a meeting with Vince Vaughn's company, Wild West, and I just sort of just threw it out there, and they were looking to do the show. Then we got in business with Netflix, and Netflix came up with the brilliant idea to serialize it, which I didn't know means have one episode leading to the next one,
Right.
which really took the writing to another level. And then here we are, 4 years later.
Is it? Yeah. No, I mean, we had a chance to watch it today. First of all, it's called F is for Family, but probably not for the family. It's an adult version.
Well, it's not for
adult
kids.
show. Right, not for kids.
Yeah, but families will totally be able to relate to this. If you want to go
understand,
and
yes.
yeah, if you had any sort of family that I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Well, how close is it to your family? Like, how many kids did you grow up with?
Oh no, it's if we had 6 kids.
Oh, okay.
There's only 3 kids. I mean, you're not gonna have 6 different kids and drama. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's hard
Top
to
Cat
drum.
where you can have 20 cats running around. It becomes a pain in the butt. So you just sort of like I took
It's a lot of
pieces,
actors.
pieces of all, just pieces from my life. Every writer. What I like about it is my family can watch it and not be like, oh my God, you put all our dirty laundry
Right.
out there. But they will see elements and hints and stuff like that. And sometimes it's just a 10-speed bicycle. Other times it's like a catchphrase. Like my dad saying, I'll put you through that bleeping wall was something that he used to say. And
You can't say that now. Dads can't say
Yeah,
that.
you can.
You can?
Just
Yeah, you can
do
do all of that
Kids threaten to
stuff.
turn
Like,
me in.
there's this
Yeah.
whole
They do.
there's this whole Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and that people believe you can't say things like that stuff you were talking about, like the polar bear with the
Yeah, the
Starbucks
Starbucks.
cookie.
It's the Starbucks polar
yeah,
bear
that is
cookie,
one of
yeah.
the biggest non-stories I've ever heard in
Yeah,
my life.
yeah,
Like
it
it is its throat splash. No, it's a scarf. We screwed it up. It's supposed to be a scarf. Oh, okay. That's
It's a
what it
huge
should
story.
be. It's supposed to be everybody flipping out.
Right.
Half of those people flipping out about the polar bear. They have iPads and flat screen TVs that all end up in the ocean,
Right,
which is
right.
why those polar bears are drowning.
That's why, yeah.
But you're not gonna adjust that part of your life, but you're gonna bitch about the cookie.
Right.
Yes.
But,
Yes, about the cookie.
Yes.
but F is for Family. When is it available on Netflix?
December 18th.
Okay.
You can binge watch all of them.
Binge watch. They're
Yeah.
all there's
So it took us
they're all
over a
time.
year to draw and do all that. And
Well, that's
Done
what
in
people
a few
do now.
hours.
you can watch it all in about
That's
2
what we're
hours,
gonna
40
do.
minutes, and be like, hey, when's the next 6 coming out? But I'm really proud of it. It's not just like, we can curse on the show, which we
Yeah.
obviously...
That's what I
we
meant by
do.
saying for the kids.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of... We still... There's that baby of the greatest moment in the end, like when it always
Right.
came back. And I just remember with
Right.
my family, we're going to get a Christmas tree, and there'd be all this traumatic dysfunction of
Yeah.
trying to get the army of kids and everybody into the car and having the whole thing
Station
work.
wagon, right?
Yeah, and then but then in the end, the fire's going, you're decorating the tree.
And it all works
Yeah,
out.
and everything settles, the dust settles
Yeah, it's all
back
good.
down again. Yeah, it was very.
No, the show is great, and we really enjoyed it. And it's funny, and it does have that that honeymooners kind of, like you said, baby,
That
you're
element,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool to watch it because to me it's a period piece. I grew up in the '70s.
Right.
Phone on the wall, like you said, the Stingray's a 10-speed bike, so it's going to be fun. And I think even for a younger generation to look back and go, wow, that was probably a cool time to grow up.
But also, I think a lot of them can also relate to the same stuff. I mean, we're going to have,
Yeah.
kids wanting, taking out the family car, kids trying to hook
Uh-huh.
up, and.
You got some big stars, some big voice stars.
Oh,
Laura
yeah,
Dern's in it,
yeah.
right?
Laura Dern does the voice of Susan, Frank's wife, the character that I play. Justin Long does Kevin. Haley Reinhardt from American Idol
Yeah.
does the voice of me, Little Me, I should say.
Oh, is that right?
Debbie Derryberry,
Nice.
if you watch any Pixar movies, she's probably in all over it. Gary Cole, Dave Keckner.
I mean, it's a big name.
Sam
how does
Rockwell.
that happen? Like, how do you get these people?
You know
on
what?
board
We
for
wrote a
that?
great script.
Right.
That's what happened. We wrote a really funny script, and then I forget who signed on first. But once you bring one of them in
Right.
the boat, then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, this is a real thing. And it was probably the most exciting thing was getting people that I have all that respect for
Right.
to actually react to what we all wrote. And we had a great writers room: Dave Richardson, Emily Towers, Tom Giannis, and I just remember laughing
Mm-hmm.
the whole time. I mean, there's obviously, it's always hard when you first start an episode,
Yeah.
just getting the rock moving up the hill. But once you got that first draft and after the second punch up, that's when it really got fun. And that's when you could really tighten it up and really,
How many episodes?
there's 6.
Okay.
So they kind of gave us
So you
6
got
just
the
to
groove.
see how it does. And how it works at Netflix is they put the whole thing out at once.
Mm-hmm.
And then if people respond to it, then they just do an order of the second season. So when that's going to happen, I don't know how soon.
You need
that
views,
happens,
right? I
so-
mean,
I'm
that's
sure.
yeah, that's how it
Yes.
works,
Yeah.
right? With
And we're also coming out the same day as Star Wars. So
Oh.
I'm hoping,
that's right. You can't get tickets to Star Wars, so
yeah,
This is if you have
maybe people will
Netflix.
watch. People telling me I'm going to watch while I stand in line for Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm
just
going
do
to
that.
binge
Sleep
watch
out
this
overnight.
But that's what people do now. Like, Christine is, got me into Walking Dead, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how you
Oh.
guys watch it. Just
Binge watching.
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
Bloodline and I
Oh,
watched
yes.
Peaky Blinders. I'm watching Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's
I
too
just-
easy. I mean, because
Yeah.
the next one just rolls and rolls, and you
Yeah, next thing you know,
can't
it's
get
4
off
in
the
the
couch,
morning.
right?
And you're like, oh my God, I got to do radio here.
Just want to see what happens in the next episode. Okay, I'm watching another hour. And then it goes and it goes. But I mean, Netflix is such a great venue. They've got, I think, the most Golden Globe nominations.
Oh,
It's
is
like,
that right?
Yeah. It's
Are they not
like the
afraid
place
to
be.
be not politically correct? Because I mean, in parts of the show, there was like, "Wow, you."
Well, no, yeah, the
you know what I'm
networks, their notes were basically push it further. It was the dream.
Wow.
But that whole political correctness, it's just, I swear to God.
That's your hot button, Bill.
No, it's not. It isn't though. It's just like people are adults. They understand. Look, if animated characters can destroy all of your parenting in 6 episodes, you're like the worst parent ever.
You're the worst parent.
Yeah, or there's something wrong with your kid. He was just born with the Damien seed or,
Yeah.
or whatever.
But
It's just
it was
Well,
refreshing to see that you do those things because ironically, and I think maybe that was the inspiration for it too, is that's what you got away with in the '70s. You couldn't do Archie Bunker now. Maybe you could do
you
it.
totally could. If
right?
if the networks
You could
and
be
the
Archie
advertisers could just stand up to these, like some of these groups, they're just bullies and they deliberately take things out of context. Look, I'm a believer that if you're wrong, you apologize. But you don't let somebody, if they take something out of, like that stupid polar bear.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a scarf.
Yeah.
It's a scarf.
Yeah,
So now
yeah,
I have
right.
to apologize because you think we, like, what kind of a dope thinks that Starbucks is going to have a bear with a slit throat
Yeah.
in the holidays?
Yeah.
Like they sat around and have, that's what we're going to do. We have
Has-
polar bears with its throat cut.
Wait a minute. Do
Huh?
we know?
This will drum up business, and then I
Have
think
they
it's also.
apologized yet? Do we know? Because they
No,
probably
no.
no, they haven't
I don't
apologized
think
yet.
they're gonna
Okay.
But I think
apologize.
it becomes like clickbait. It's
Right.
really lazy journalism, and,
Yeah.
and it's an easy thing. I swear to God, like comedians get more blowback than bankers. who depleted the savings of people who fought in wars for this
Right.
country, and
Right.
they're eating Alpo now, sitting in some old folks' home instead of their house that they should have had. And those guys, none of them go to jail. But God forbid you tell a joke in a strip mall
Right.
that somebody and one person out of
Right.
like 400 doesn't like it, and that becomes the story. And they write a blog about it. And they treat the blogger like they won like a Peabody Award for the New York
Right,
Times.
right.
It's just some dope in the crowd who sat there and watched 100 subjects go by, and everything was funny. And then it came to their part of their life. And, oh, that was a statement.
Yeah.
He meant that
Right.
one.
It struck a nerve.
Yeah, they're
Right.
babies.
Have
They're
you,
babies, and if you just stand up to them, they're bullies.
Have you changed up your stand-up at all? Because
No.
you said you felt it happen. Like you felt this change about 8 years ago, and a lot, Jerry Seinfeld, a lot of comedians have addressed this.
I
that-
never felt it in the club. I just
Uh-huh.
saw people's I just saw how it worked. And I have a podcast network, okay?
Plug it.
The
Go
All
ahead.
Things Comedy Network. And when we have a friend of ours has a special coming out, we go, okay, we're all tweeting in 3, 2, 1,
Right.
and there's 400, 500 of us, and we all tweet, and it gets momentum. That's
Right.
500 people in a country of over 400 million can get
Right.
momentum on social media with 500 tweets at the same time. So when they sit there and they act like the sky is falling and everybody's freaking out, it's strategic. How you get offended.
Right.
Like, they're on, T minus, we're going to
Yeah,
be
right.
offended. And T minus, and
Well, I know, go back to Seinfeld. He won't do colleges anymore. At least that's what I've heard, because it's so PC that
I don't know that
everyone's
he won't
offended.
do colleges. I saw that interview. I think he was making, that was another thing. He just basically said what was out there. And then even that was like,
Right.
is he thinking about retiring? And even then they blew that up. It's
Right.
just constantly, I think because there's so many places to watch and listen to things now, if there's any ripple, you have to make it look like, oh my God, what is this?
Right.
And try to like just pumping everything up and making a story even when there isn't one there. So it's a cartoon, it's adult humor, there's adults.
It's fun. It's-
Nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
ISIS doesn't get stronger. it's just relax.
No,
Just
it's-
sit down and watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you do, watch it.
Binge it if you do binge.
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
fun. It's F is for family, and again, it's available December 18th on Netflix. And
Yes.
and again, you
Now,
can visit.
depending on the fact that I know you have mature adults listening to this, and they'll be able
That,
to
Absolutely.
understand.
they'll love it. They'll love it
There you
because
go.
the most
We'll
of
have
them
a good time. Have a
most of
good
them grew
laugh.
up in the 70s. It's going to be a homecoming thing.
There you go.
Bill, thanks for coming in. We
Hey, thank you for
appreciate it.
having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Bill Burr in the studio, everybody.